What a great time for Gatorade Cool Blue. Oh yeah. Cool Blue. I'm loving it. Gatorade Cool Blue. They are not a sponsor of this video, but it's delicious. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Mr. Ferguson channel. I am Mr. Ferguson. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we want to do a review. And what do we want to review? The Cool Blue. You see it right here behind me. At this time of year in the summer, it is almost August now, and a lot of people are deciding, including my neighbor, which you guys know I mention all the time, Mr. Kevin, what type of seed do we want to lay down in the lawn this year? And so there's a lot of, well, what does this seed offer versus this other seed? And do I want to go with something local or something everybody on the internet is talking about? So in this review of GCI Cool Blue, I want to give you my 4 cons and 4 pros of the grass seed you see behind me. So let's get into it. So once again, thank you guys so much for coming to the channel. I hope this review will be helpful for you if you're out there and you're picking a seed for this upcoming fall. I hope this review will be fair, but also give you helpful advice on what seed you may want to plant in your lawn this coming up fall. In this video, you will see pictures of my lawn throughout the video. Everything is GCI Cool Blue here in my backyard and on the side of where we're standing right here, but there are areas that I will show you here in just a second that are not 100% Cool Blue, and it was a good thing because it factors into my review of it. So real quick, I want to pick you guys up and show you the areas that are not 100% Cool Blue so that you're aware when you see the photos. So again, we're here in July and we have just a mow yesterday that's looking awesome. This is all GCI Cool Blue. You do have a very, very small percentage of this that is still remaining GCI Turf Tall Fescue, but ultimately from the side of my house right here where you start to see the shadow onward in this backyard is 100% GCI Cool Blue. And I must say right now, it is looking pretty spectacular. Here on the side of my house, most people that continuously watch the channel know this, but this section has never fully been killed off. This section is a combination of GCI Turf Tall Fescue, GCI Cool Blue, but also some just regular Kentucky 31. And that is the same for most of my front yard, which we'll walk up here as well. But as you can see, this is a mix of Kentucky 31 and Turf Type Tall Fescue from GCI. Beautiful glory and some beautiful flowers my wife has been working on, looking awesome right now. But as we show you the front yard, again, this is a mix. The front yard has never been completely killed off. For 2 years, it's had the first year we had GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue. The second year we overseeded with GCI Cool Blue. Now up here on the berm where you may see this rope stretched across, we did kill off the flat part of this entire berm and planted nothing but GCI Cool Blue. And so when I go this way, maybe it'll look a little better that there is a ditch line right here and it slopes up and then it flattens off. So this entire flat part has been just straight up GCI Cool Blue as of this past season. So as we walk down, you see the property stake here. This little strip here is GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue. It is Kentucky Blue. We did kill off some of this. Some of this up here has been killed off and just straight up Turf Type Tall Fescue and Cool Blue, all from GCI. But some of this that you'll see in this strip, this whole strip we did kill off last year. This is GCI Cool Blue right here. Some of this is a mix of Kentucky 31 right here. And then as we come down to the last part, this section right here up until the end of my house, past the water hose here to the brick part, coming forward, all of this is a mix of Kentucky 31, GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue, and Cool Blue. And so this is a mix right here. So as we walk past the brick of the house, we're back to where we were at the very beginning. All of this in the very back is 100% Turf Type Tall Fescue and GCI Cool Blue. So just wanted to be clear, when you see the pictures, that's what you're looking at. So with that in mind, just keep that in your mind as you look at the picture. So if you're saying, is that the 100% GCI Cool Blue or not, you can reference back to the beginning of the video. But I want to go over the pros first because I think that's very important. So number one, weed free. And so what I want to throw on your screen right now is the label for GCI Cool Blue. And what you will notice is down where it says weed seed, it is a 0. You got zeros there. You're not going to find weed seed in this GCI blend of tall fescue mixed with 15% Kentucky bluegrass. Let's be clear about what GCI Cool Blue is. If you've not heard, it is 85% turf type tall fescue and 15% Kentucky bluegrass. And there on the label, you guys can see exactly what that derives of up top in the percentages. But you'll notice the weed seed is 0. So one of the pros definitely is that this is a seed that when you buy it from Pete over at GCI, you are not going to get any weed seeds in the bag to where you're basically you're sowing weeds into your existing lawn. Number two, 15% Kentucky bluegrass, and it's a spreading grass. So as we just mentioned, the Cool Blue, the whole thing about that separates turf type tall fescue from GCI and Cool Blue is that 15% of Kentucky bluegrass. And so it is, Kentucky bluegrass is a grass that is capable of spreading. Although it is not spreading at the rate as Bermuda grass and other grasses, it is a very slow spreading, but bluegrass has the ability to spread. So that is one of the pros to having bluegrass in your lawn, along with the next one, which is number 3, which is a darker color due to that Kentucky bluegrass. When it first came up, it is a noticeable darker green especially when it's fertilized, but just a darker green grass with that little bit of Kentucky bluegrass mixed into it. And so that darker color of the bluegrass was noticeable. And again, this is coming from Mr. Ferguson, who the first year of my lawn, I planted just straight up turf type tall fescue, but this past year I did plant GCI Cool Blue. So I was able to see what it looked like last year and then able to see what I planted this year. And there is a noticeable darker tint or color to GCI Cool Blue, 100%. And the last thing as far as the pros is it stripes very, very well. I got my striping kit right at the beginning, right when I got my GCI Cool Blue lawn going, I got the striping kit. I was unable to test the striping on straight up GCI turf type tall fescue, but I am able to stripe it on a GCI Cool Blue lawn. And oh my goodness, in the areas, I will 100% take this to the bank. Remember the hill that we just walked and I showed you in my front yard, and I said this is completely GCI turf type tall fescue. It is noticeably striping better on that flat part of that hill than it does on the other parts of my lawn where I have mixed in Kentucky 31. I can personally say that. Again, back here we have turf type tall fescue and Kentucky Blue and Cool Blue back here. It's noticeable over here where I stripe as compared to on the sides. Now, it doesn't mean that on the sides that the striping is absolutely terrible. I've just noticed that it looks just a little bit better to me on the all Cool Blue areas of my lawn. So it does stripe very well. All right, so let's get into my cons. And again, everything, the pros and the cons, is my opinion. I haven't looked up any opinions of any other YouTuber or anybody else on the internet. This is strictly coming from me. I made my notes and here I am presenting them to you. So, cons. Number 1, Kentucky bluegrass needs more water. This is no secret. If you're somebody that's been in lawn care for a little bit and been around the block and have kind of educated yourself, you know this. If you're new, just know Kentucky bluegrass requires more water than turf type tall fescue. That was noticeable to me this summer, and also we had one of the driest Mays in North Carolina history, if not the driest May in North Carolina history. It was noticeable, man. I was like, this Kentucky bluegrass is really, if it doesn't get the water it needs, you would see that what I call the C curling. It would curl up. It would, you know how your blades stay flat, but it would do the curling motion, which is showing signs of it needs water. And water, there was moments where I would water it for a good 15 minutes, and I mean, those blades would almost just almost before my very eyes straighten back out and look healthy again. And so recently we've had good amounts of rain each week, and that's not been an issue. But my goodness, when it's not raining, it is very noticeable to me that the yard would be under stress of lack of water. You have to basically throw your sprinklers out more often. If you have irrigation, you're going to need to pump more water into your lawn. So do not be surprised by that. Take it from me. That is something that is definitely was apparent from just turf type tall fescue to switch into the cool blue. Secondly, the price is higher for quality seed. I do believe, and I can put that on the side of the screen here. Actually, let me slide over here. I'll put it on the side, but the price of cool blue is a little bit higher than the turf type tall fescue, and that is due to the fact that we do have Kentucky bluegrass mixed into the cool blue. So it is a little bit of a price jump, but again, think about it. You're getting weed-free seed. So that is one of our pros. You know, one of the cons to that is the price is a little bit higher than going to Lowe's and buying a bag of grass seed. You may be able to go on the internet and say, well, I'm not going to buy GCI Cool Blue. I'm going to buy this and it's mixed in. That's good. But if you don't look at the label, you could be buying a product with just as much Kentucky bluegrass, just as much turf type tall fescue, but the weed seed content could be 3, 4, 5%, and it's way cheaper. And that is why the price is cheaper. So pay attention to the label. And so with this turf type tall fescue that you're getting mixed with the Cool Blue blend, it is a little bit pricier. So keep that in mind before you go and say, I'm just going to buy a bag. It should be the same as all the other seed. It is a little bit pricier, but you get what you pay for. Third, disease resistant seems low. And I say that, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to show you guys where I had existing Kentucky 31, where I had straight up just turf type tall fescue and cool blue. And so I did not plan on this, but it does 100% seem now for the second year in a row planting GCI turf type tall fescue. As much as I hate to say it, it does seem like the turf type tall fescue seems to come under disease easily, more so than on the side over here where I have Kentucky 31, on this side, and in the front part of my front lawn. In those areas, I've seen a few brown spots, but very, very little. It's everywhere where I have 100% turf type tall fescue and cool blue, I've seen the most disease. And so could that have been a total coincidence of this year? Absolutely. But it's something I put down just I want you to keep in mind that it's not it is disease resistant, obviously, but it seems like in comparison with Kentucky 31, though I don't know much about Kentucky 31, it seems Kentucky 31 has a very high resistance to disease, where the turf type tall fescue is a little less resistant. And so keep that in mind. Another thing that I have to mention is I did use hydrotane this year, but I did use hydrotane on every single area of my lawn, and the ones that seemed most affected was the turf type tall fescue from GCI. So do keep that in mind, that you may have some, it may not be as resistant as some other fescues you've used in the past. And lastly, I put this in there. I don't know if this is even something worth mentioning, but I put shade tolerance. And the reason why I put that in there is it seems like to me that the GCI turf type tall fescue and cool blue really needs full sun. These areas, we've talked about it here on my channel behind me that is by my shed, and over here where when full summer comes in and when leaves are overhanging and the shade begins to appear, you know, in May and June, and we're not getting sun in those areas, my turf type tall fescue from GCI and the cool blue begins to fade away dramatically. And at first I thought this was a potassium deficiency. We've pumped potassium in my lawn since May, June, and July, so almost 3 months now consistently. It has made a massive difference in my lawn compared to last year, but in the areas that are shaded, the turf type tall fescue is beginning to weed out and thin out a little bit. So keep that in mind. It does like full sun. This year, something that I'm doing is I've bought a different product for the shaded areas, but I will continue to use GCI products, which brings us to the final conclusion of this video. So completely wrapping up this video and putting a bow tie on it, the question that I want to answer is, Mr. Ferguson, so you've given us your pros, you've given us your cons, will you be using cool blue again? And this year, the answer is no, I personally will not. I have decided to go back to GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue. My main reason of why I made that decision is the watering aspect. It was really apparent to me that the Kentucky Bluegrass really needed more water. And being a person that lives in a subdivision on city water with a wife that is like, hey, we need to kind of cut back the watering and stuff, which she's absolutely right about because water prices continue to go up in our area. I was like, you know what? Next year, I just need to not plant the Kentucky Bluegrass, stick with the turf type tall fescue. It's not as dark as the other product, but I can make it dark with iron, with the next products. And so that is the reason why I've decided to go turf type tall fescue. Otherwise, I would ask you and ask you all to consider the things that have been mentioned in this video. Do the pros outweigh the cons for you to purchase the item? I think that anybody that has well water, anybody that has full sun area, I would highly recommend GCI Cool Blue. I'm not dissing the product whatsoever. I'm just giving you my personal encounters and experience of what I've seen and what I've used here in my lawn. So thank you so much for watching this review on GCI Cool Blue and a little bit of the GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue. I hope this has been informative to you. I hope that it's educated you a little bit on what type of products you may get out of this. Subscribe to the channel. Hey, we would love to have you around. We do reviews like this every now and then. I like to talk about things that I know what I've been talking about and I've experienced and can give you my testimonial about. I'm not paid by Gatorade. I'm not paid by GCI Turf or Yardmaster or anybody. I give you guys my honest 100% opinion on what I've seen in my own lawn here in Central North Carolina. God bless you guys. And now I hope you have a great day.